Team think Jonathan Davis is alongside Dave Woods.
Well, only two roads lead out of the JJB Stadium. For the winners, the high road to Edinburgh. For the losers, the low road of despair. Both sets of supporters will be used to the tension of this occasion. Leeds have been in the semi-final 9 times in the last 10 years. Lost 5, won 4. St Helens, of course, are the holders, having beaten Leeds at this stage and on this stage, the JJB Stadium 12 months ago, in a classic cup tie. This is the way they will line up at the start. One interesting choice there in the centres from Leeds' point of view. Adrian Fowles, who no doubt defensively will be excellent, but maybe lacks the explosive attacking potential of Tony Carroll, who's on the bench for the start of this game. And Barry McDermott, the man who wears the number 10, will be very much the driving force, but keep an eye on Matt Diskin, who could be a very important pivotal player for Leeds in the hooker's position. St Helens are at full strength. Their half-back combination of Sean Long and Tommy Martin is a handful for any side, and no doubt will be a handful again for Leeds this afternoon. And having rested their front row for last week's Super League game when these two sides met, they are all three back: Darren Britt, Peter Shields and Kieran Cunningham. And the substitutes bench, well, one name that really does stand out: Rob Burrow, the number 19, who grandstand viewers will have caught a glimpse of a little earlier. He could be an explosive force before the afternoon is out. Well, Damien Johnson is down by the sidelines, and a little earlier he spoke with the Leeds head coach, Darryl Powell.
Darryl, the good news for Leeds is that Ryan Sheridan's back for you.
Yeah, Ryan's an outstanding player. He's been great for us all season, and you need him in the big games, so he's looking forward today, as all the team are.
Tony Carroll as well, but only on the bench.
Yeah, Tony's on the bench, just come back from a slight injury, but he's a big game player, and we're looking forward to getting him into the action.
You don't need me to remind you that St Helens turned you over last week and also in the semi-final last year.
Yeah, that's history, and we won't read too much into that. We'll look to perform on the day, and this is a big day today. We're really looking forward to the occasion. It'll be a great atmosphere in here, and just looking forward to the players putting on a great performance.
There were lessons to be learned last week. Concentration for 80 minutes is important.
Well, it always is against St Helens, they're a quality team, aren't they? And it's really important that we focus for the full 80. But we've got to start well. I think that's the really important time for us.
Thanks, Darryl. Good luck.
Thank you.
As emotionless as ever, Darryl Powell. Well, a man who shows a little more of his emotions is Ian Millward, who's also spoken with Damien.
Ian, as usual in the build-up to a big game, St Helens remarkably relaxed.
Yeah, it's a very enjoyable experience, but playing in big games. We're very lucky people to continually play in front of them, so we've got a lot of foundations to lean on when we come to these big games.
You named your side early, as you always seem to do, and it's almost a case of here am I 13, let's get on with it.
Yeah, we did. We named our 17 on Monday because everyone was fit and ready to go. Unfortunately for us, Sean Hoppy rolled his ankle yesterday at training, so he'll come off the bench and we'll bring Dwayne West on the bench. So that's only a change that happened yesterday. Unfortunately for Sean, he's important to us, but he rolled his ankle, so I feel sorry for Sean.
You've highlighted one danger man in the Leeds camp, Barry McDermott, a player you'd like in your side.
Yeah, well, he's on a long-term contract with Leeds, but he's a very good player, very quick for a big man, very quick for a front rower, got exceptional skills, right arm unload. Great player, Barry.
As if you need an incentive, Wigan are waiting in the final.
Yeah, congratulations to Wigan for getting in there. You know what I mean? It's like it says in Challenge Cup, it's not about how many you win by, it's just a matter of winning them. And they're in there first, but that's not a priority with us. Whoever's in there is not an issue with us. The issue is here today, and it should be one cracking game.
Thanks, Ian. Good luck.
Yeah, no worries.
One cracking game sums up what we're expecting here this afternoon. Jonathan Davis?
I think whoever you've spoken to, they all have a little bit of doubt of which way this game's going to go. They're two form sides with Bradford, of course, and even Brian Noble, the Bradford coach, wasn't sure which way this would go. They are form sides with great kicking games, with a lot of fantastic players, and maybe, whereas yesterday we were looking for maybe a mistake to win or lose it, today is totally different because there are some spectacular players, world-class performers, and I'm really looking forward to this game.
You've been there, haven't you, in a dressing room, in the tunnel, seconds before kick-off. How does it feel?
It's great to be there, in the change room. You're in a semi-final. this is what every sportsman or every rugby league player, you know, thrives for, playing these big occasions. As soon as they come out, you know, they'll hear the fans, their own fans cheering them, the away fans, the opposite fans booing them, but it's a dreadful game to lose. That's the only thing, and none of these boys will even be thinking about that.
Francis Cummings, you can see in the foreground, the Leeds skipper. He's the current longest serving Leeds player. He's played in 8 of those last 9 semi-finals. He knows what this occasion is all about. He started young. He was the youngest ever player to play in a Challenge Cup final itself back in 1994, when he was only 17 years and 200 days old. My word, shouldn't be out of the sight of your mother at that age, should you? But he was playing at Wembley Stadium that day.
I think he looks very relaxed, doesn't he, Dave? He's just taking it all in, and then when the noise hits him, that's when it all starts.
Here they come, and here's the noise. Fireworks above the stadium, and unable to resist the cliche.
Yeah.
1 or 2 fireworks inside the stadium, I should imagine, in the next 80 minutes.
I'm sure there will be, and you know, it's just a fantastic occasion. What can I say? It's the game everyone's been looking forward to since the draw, I believe. The kicking games will be vitally important. It's a tremendous surface, and the 40-20 kicking game, you know, is going to be special because you've got quality kickers in Walker, Tommy Martin, you know, and of course there's Jointy there. I'm sure that they will attack Ben Walker down the left-hand side with Newlove and Joint, 2 tremendous ball carriers. The pressure will come on Ben Walker because when he is defending, they want him to work hard so that he's tired, you know, when they receive the ball.
1 or 2 last-minute adjustments for our referee this afternoon as well, Russell Smith, who's one of the best in the world, not only in this country. And the St Helens fans, I'm sure, will be telling you that their side is also one of the best in the world. World champions themselves, of course, last year. Leeds will hope. Last time this competition climaxed in Edinburgh, Leeds were there, but they didn't win it. They lost to the Bradford Bulls. They'll be hoping to go 1 stage better against Wigan Warriors in a couple of weeks' time. That's Richard Lewis, by the way, the man in the middle who was pointing there, the man who's been put in charge of rugby league. Poison chalice or not, we'll have to wait and see.
One thing he's got the product, and you know, if they work on the marketing, but they've got certainly the product. It's a great game, and this will be a fantastic spectacle.
Well, they met, as we heard earlier, met just 7 days ago in the league, in the Super League, and that was a real classic game, which was only won by St Helens with a try with the very last move of the match. That's how close it was. And if we have the same drama here today, then I'm sure nobody inside this JJB Stadium, which is not as full as it might be because there have been a lot of problems on the roads leading up to this game, so I'm sure fans will filter in as the match goes on. Those who are here are ready for what should be a very good game of rugby league. Ben Walker will get us underway. The Leeds standoff. The man who is charged with so many responsibilities in a game for his side. Danfield and Kieran Cunningham with the first take. And here comes the early drives from the big men. Peter Shields taking it to within 20 yards of his own line. Cunningham. These are real testing moments in the opening stages where both sets of forwards really try to plant their authority on the game. Sculthorpe, 2 men into the tackle straight away. The commitment is there right from the start. Cunningham again, little inside ball for Yonkers, who gets it away well. Long now, St Helens look to expand. Newlove down the left-hand side, tried to duck underneath Vowles, but that's what he's there for. Adrian Vowles with a tackle. Long, looking for the early kick. Francis Cummings should have it covered. Across there as well is Marcus St-Hilaire. There's news of an early injury though. Here's Damien Johnson.
You saw that crunching tackle, Kevin Sinfield on Paul Sculthorpe, and Sinfield's looking very groggy. Of course, he's a key player at number 13 for Leeds, and let's hope he's better soon.
He has been in extraordinary form this season, Kevin Sinfield. really living up to his potential, so Leeds will be hoping he's better soon. McDermott now with a drive in. Really does give Leeds terrific power down the middle when he's on the field.
Senior is in tremendous form as well. He's very strong, very quick. They'll want the ball in his hand.
Sheridan again with the early kick in the tackle count, taken by Anthony Stewart, the man who scored the try that broke Leeds' heart 7 days ago.
Okay, the ball's still up.
Mueller.
The ball is still up.
Here's Wellens. St Helens forwards were slow back there, weren't they?
Get up, quick.
The backs having to do a little bit of the work here, just conserving the energy which they'll no doubt need later in the game.
3 hands off, back with it. And wait, hold it.
Skillthorpe. Senior doing the mopping up. Sinfield, you see, involved in the tackle as well, so the recovery seems to be complete. Britt. Huge put forward, Darren Britt. 5 Australian Test caps to his name. Cunningham will take it down the blind side on the 6th tackle. Here's Skillthorpe. Now that is a testing kick because it will fall in no man's land. Oh, and it's just missed by Tommy Martin. It's still clear and eventually put down behind his own line by Ben Walker. But where was Francis Cummings?
I think Francis Cummings, you can see him there, number 1. It was a great ploy by St Helens. They attacked the blind side, which dragged Francis Cummings over to the short side. And then the cross kick into space. Very fortunate that Ben Walker was back there to collect the ball.
I think what we have today is 2 coaches who are very tactically astute, aren't they? So they will be aware of the opposition's weaknesses.
Yeah, very clever. And if you attack the short side, it's very difficult for your back 3 to work as a unit.
Skillthorpe. Here's Britt again, just trying to establish the platform. Leeds are under real pressure though here now. Cunningham from dummy half. Shields takes it on, away to Yonkers. Yonkers brushes aside Sinfield, and he's going for the line, and just recovered by Sinfield and Cummings. But there was danger. Here's Cunningham again. Oh, he's over. That will be a try. That will be a try. No doubts about it. Russell Smith chose not to go to the video replay. Kieran Cunningham does what he does best. His 99th try for St Helens, Kieran Cunningham. He edges closer to the century, but more importantly, edges St Helens ahead.
There's the missed tackle by Sinfield. He took a bang to the head earlier on, and Yonkers did him with a step. As soon as Cunningham comes in here, you know it's try time. This guy is the best hooker, if not the best player in the world, and he doesn't miss those opportunities. Look, he's low, disorganised defence. There's no way you're going to stop him. Tremendous try, but all done by a superb Yonkers break.
Well, that will settle a few nerves, won't it? Certainly in the St Helens camp.
Yeah, but you've got to attack, the weaknesses in the defensive line, and I believe that, they noticed that Sinfield was injured, and they attacked him, and he just fell off the tackle.
Sean Wong is a prodigious goal kicker, as well as being a very talented player with the ball in his hands. And he will just be shutting out the noise at the moment. It looks good. It is good. And the flags confirm as much. St Helens have their perfect start. They lead by 6 points to 0.
Yeah, there's the offload, which you have to stop. It's one-on-one tackler, steps inside. Sinfield does well to get back there, but you can see Kieran Cunningham coming in. They're shuffling out wide to the right. You just can't stop him.
Leeds defence knew it was coming, but it's how to stop it, that's the question. Britt drives it down.
Yeah, further news about Kevin Sinfield. He's still trying to clear his head. You saw him miss that tackle on Tim Yonkers, and normally one of the best cover tacklers in the game. But he's still groggy, he's hanging on in there, and we'll see how he goes.
Well, Leeds will not want to be forced to make an early substitution at this game. This is how it happened.
Yeah, just caught an elbow on the way down there.
Good take by Mueller, because the pass from Martin was just a foot or two behind him. Kevin Sinfield still trying to clear his head. Mueller again. St Helens have the bit between their teeth. Sixth tackle coming up. Martin, high kick again will test. Cummins is underneath it. It's a difficult one to take, and he has not taken it well. Knocked on but recovered, but he's conceded the dropout under the sticks.
Yeah, confidence, won't be high after the first kick. It's a superb kick because Cummins is aware of the two uprights behind him, doesn't want to bang into it. The crossbar comes into the equation as well, so superb kick by Tommy Martin. So clever, the use of the short side by St Helens so early in the game.
Interesting call by the referee there, said it wasn't a knock on. If it had been, it would have been a scrum down for St Helens, and they would have had better field position. As it is, he's decided it was not backwards, so it's the dropout that we saw, and St Helens will have to start from here. Shields, and he's given it away. That went forward. And that's the kind of error that happens in semi-finals, isn't it?
Yeah, and Leeds needed that. They were under the cosh a little bit. Why you try to throw that? They were in good field position, first tackle I believe, so they won't be happy. Millwood won't be happy with the pressure that they had. Now it's going to be released.
Senior.
Let him up one, quickly.
Sinfield's up at dummy half. Adamson with a drive forward. Another of the ex-Australian internationals.
Yeah, he's been very influential in the Leeds form this season. Big ball carrier, great offload.
And St Helens guilty of just hanging on a little too long in the tackle. So the penalty goes Leeds' way. Further relief when they should have been under the cosh.
Yeah, just cutting onto the tackle there, Jointy, Chris Joint.
8 minutes played, and Leeds have not really had an attacking situation so far, have they? Maybe this is where it comes from. Sheridan's pass. Here's McDermott now, looking to try and get in his stride, and it takes two St Helens men to pull him down. Diskin, Sinfield, little dummy trying to a toe. From Yonkers and Britt. Diskin again. Here's McDermott, standing start, forward past that, but Clear is allowed to carry on. 1 or 2 groans from St Helens supporters. Sheridan. Walker. Good ball. And they almost find a route through, but St Helens cover defence is there again. It was not forward, and it's Newlove who's recovered it for Saints.
Yeah, good defence. Trying to get Adamson out wide, running at the centres, but loses the ball.
And now it is Leeds' turn to prove themselves over-eager in the tackle. You have to get up and get away from it so that the opposition can play on. And they just get mauling and wrestling and lying on and just not letting Anthony Stewart up.
Yeah, Derek Powell and Markham really won't be happy with that. They need to keep St Helens in their own half for a little bit.
Here's Wellens, half break and has support from Long. Long will dance away from Cummins. Terrific pace from the scrum half. Caught in the end by Marcus Sunderland. Cornwall's there too. But St Helens are there again. Cunningham, now there are gaps out left. Quick hands here and it will be a try. Now was that forward. Referee says play on. Joint puts it back. Oh, and it's knocked down by Shields. On any other occasion, on any other day, St Helens would have walked in for the try. And instead they give the ball away.
Yeah, that's a blown try. They blew and they'd be unhappy with that. They scramble, superb little ploy. Wellens comes through, watch this, a dummy runner from Kieran Cunningham. Ball out of the tackle. Not the position you want to be in, Cummins. Long just takes him, superb cover defence. Sinfield and Calderwood, but they blew it.
And again, not only knocking on, but giving away the penalty, and quick thinking from Vowles there with a tap. Well, you can feel the nerves that are on the pitch at the moment. Here's Head, good burst by him. Now Senior, away to Connor, Sinclair on this left-hand side, just put a foot in touch. But that's all it takes.
The opportunity, I think. Senior should have taken the tackle there. Look, he's got nowhere to go. No space, does well, he just gets a foot in touch. I think Leeds need to keep possession for a bit, just starve St Helens off possession, get the centre 6, kick it, and then a good defensive chase, put some pressure on St Helens in their own 22.
News of a couple of injuries in the Saints camp. Paul Newlove took a knock, and also Darren Britt. Just a sign of the intensity out there. It's close up, it's pretty hard stuff.
There's Joint.
Release.
St Helens are again in field position here. Sculthorpe spins it away to Stewart. Leeds' defence is really being tested in these opening 12 minutes. Cunningham again. Long. No way right, so he'll try left. Brushes away the would-be tackle from Adamson. Little ball back inside for Newlove again. He's past McDermott and then runs into Andy Hay. Cunningham reverses it away. Shields is not put first down by Vowles, and he's allowed to offload. Long with a pass. Sculthorpe's well met.
They've got to stop the offloads. You know, they get into tackle, they've got great ability to offload. They've got to stop it.
Sixth tackle coming up. Last chance here for St Helens. Long. Out it goes to Wellers. Quick hands from Gleeson. What a try! What a terrific try! Albertson at the corner, but it was the passing that put him there. Martin Gleeson's centre play was exceptional.
This is a very, very skillful play here by Gleeson. Absolutely superb. Again, on the last tackle, they go the short side. They've got numbers, but there doesn't seem to be any space. Watch this pass. Take and give. Helens is too slow. A walk-in day for Albert, but made by Gleeson. Superb ball. They've got numbers, defence is there. Senior, he's got to make a decision. St Helens makes a decision to come in. The pass beats him. Magnificent play.
Well, a Newcastle Knights man, Darren Albert. We've heard Jonathan in years gone by talking about how difficult it is to score in the Australian game. Well, his last season in Australia, he scored 16 tries in 23 games. That makes him quite a finisher.
I think he had a certain Andrew Johns inside him, which does help a lot, actually. The world's greatest player.
There's always an explanation, isn't there?
It is.
Well, there's some Saints fans who are singing at the moment. The Leeds fans, you can see at the end to which Sean Long is kicking, have been stunned into silence.
As I said, Dave, they need to keep the ball. You can't give St Helens so much possession. They're so dangerous, you know, they can attack from anywhere. You've got to put them under pressure and keep possession.
Difficult kick this for Long, but as a left-footed kicker, it's on the right side of the field from his point of view, and the kick is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. .12-0 St Helens lead.
You can't say they don't deserve it, can you? Now look at this pass. This is the overlap, the extra man at full back, but that pass makes it. Marcus St Helens, the Leeds winger, had to come in and had to kill the ball. Tremendous skill, take and give.
It was on the sixth tackle as well, wasn't it? It was all or nothing from St Helens' point of view. Anxious looks from the Leeds bench. Now really alongside Darryl Powell. Shields. And Leeds still have not had meaningful possession inside the St Helens half, have they? 7 minutes of possession St Helens have had. Just under 4 minutes yet for Leeds.
You can't do that against St Helens. You can't afford to do it. You've got to keep your discipline. You've got to keep the ball for a set to 6, and then you've got to keep them in their own 22 if possible with a good kicking game. There is no kicking game evident yet in the Leeds play.
Tommy Martin with a little dragged blubber kick, which should be an easy take for Cummins, and is. Oh, what can he do with this? Sheridan. Senior. St-Hilaire. Little shimmy, ball in both hands. It always just makes the opposition guess about what you're going to do. Fleary. Walker stepped out of the tackle well. Oh, and he almost got through.
Tommy, you can hold your chin, mate.
Yeah, Tommy Martin.
The set before you were in front, that set you're in front. So call Tolkie's joint the tackle before.
Well, Tommy Martin started that tackle offside and
there he
never
is.
played himself back onside again. That's
third,
why that's
third man in there. Now he's second man in. Comes in to finish the tackle.
Well, the penalty has put Leeds in sight. Sheridan. Now Cummins. Inside ball for Sinfield. Steps away. Yonkers couldn't get him. Shields could. Diskin. Sheridan. Diskin's quickly up there again from the acting half-back's position. Senior will try to bulldoze his way over from close range. St Helens' defence was strong enough, but now the questions are being asked of them. Sheridan. Sinfield. Half a gap, couldn't pop it through. Needed a long pass there, but didn't fancy it on his right-hand side. Cummins again. Walker, little grubber kick through into the in-goal area, and it's just watched out of play. They are very narrow in goals here at the JJB, so you have to be point perfect, and it wasn't quite on that occasion.
Defence was good. They needed a quicker play of the ball. They were disorganised on the right-hand side, and they had overlap, but the play of the ball was slow, and they had time to get back.
Down here on the St Helens bench, we've got Mark Edmondson, non-playing member of the squad today. Mark, a fantastic start for Saints.
Yeah, I mean, last time I spoke to you, we had a dream start against Halifax, and again today we're doing the same. Last week gave us an opportunity to do our homework on Leeds, and we've stuck to the game plan, and it's been a dream start.
Fantastic try from Darren Albert, wasn't it?
Well, exactly that same situation last week. You asked me about the hands. We've done the hands drill again. We just put it through the hands. Back to basics, really, and we've gone in for another try.
Thanks, Mark.
Just proves a point you can always remember the last time you spoke to Damien Johnson. Scorethorpe is tackled 5 yards away from the halfway line. Yonkers, here's Long. And just looking for distance, pegging Leeds back. Here comes Cummins, looking for a meaningful return, but the chase is good enough to make sure that he dallies only 10 yards forward before hitting the deck. A little fortuitous there. This is Walker. Britt just got hold.
Good tackle, Britt.
And then he spoils it all.
Spoils it all. It was a superb tackle, one hand on him, drags him down. Goes for the break, look, just gets one hand in his shorts, and then just flops on him.
If there's any consolation for Leeds from this situation, it is that St Helens are the side who normally fight back from improbable positions. The question is now, can they hold a lead? Sheridan. McDermott. Because he's strong enough. Not seen Barry McDermott on a real charge so far, have we? But Leeds have really not had the possession to feed him the ammunition. Fleary. Sinfield. Always looking to get the ball away, and it's scrappy in the end, but maybe with some effect. Here's Senior. Quick play the ball. Hey! Will try himself.
Numbers on the right.
Diskin hasn't seen it, fancied a double himself, and now he goes right. Sheridan, little step inside, almost past Britt, throws it back for Sinfield. Sinfield's kick for the corner, wonderful kick as well. What a clever piece of play that was! Now if Collingwood was onside, and if he put it down short on the dead ball line, that will be a try. But how quick was the thinking there from Kevin Sinfield?
Great kick. There's the pass. He has a dart first, Sheridan. Bang! One off the right foot. Can't go anywhere. No support. Throws the ball back. This is great vision and fantastic skill. Superb take. Great try.
Did he have a hand over the whitewash before he put the ball down?
Well, we will see the play of the ball is good. There's nothing wrong with the play of the ball at all, so that's cleared. It's all about now, is he in front, does he ground the ball? Good offload again, this is magnificent vision. Lovely kick. Hang on, takes it. Ball's down.
Well, Ray Tennant is the video referee this afternoon, who will be watching this very closely before a decision is made.
Here's the play of the ball, he is up on his feet, so that's okay. Here we go, it's the offload. I think it's got to be a try. He can't go back this far, can he? You've got to... This is the play of the ball. How far are they going back here? We're back to kick-off now.
This is the play of the ball.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And hang on, he gets the kick. There we go, ball goes back. Is he in front of you? That's the question.
Well, he was a long way in front, but we never really saw him clearly, did we? I think most crucially here is whether the hand was on the whitewash, because that would negate all that evidence, wouldn't it? Anyway, a decision has been made. This is a semi-final, so they have to make sure they've got it exactly right, you know.
Here we go.
They are impatient inside the stadium, but if the decision goes the way of their team, they will be very glad of the wait. Here we come.
Right, does he get his hand? Ball down or hand down? Try. You can't see his hand, so give him the try. I think it's a try. Try, gotta go try.
Well, whatever happens next, there will be plenty of discussion about it. Calderwood waits and watches. Now, what's it going to be? Leeds back in the game? Yes! Hardly a flicker of emotion on the Leeds bench. But those in the stands are highly delighted. They needed that try.
Certainly did. That's a superb kick though, wasn't it? You know, the vision, the weight of the kick.
I think we can safely assume that Kevin Sinfield's head is now totally clear. It wasn't just the vision, as you were saying, it was also the weight of the kick, the way it beat the last defender over for his winger.
This will be a testing kick from the start.
He's a fantastic goal kicker, Ben Walker. He played with the Northern Eagles in Australia last year, who didn't make the playoffs, but even so, he was the record point scorer in Australia last year. Which tells you something about his kicking. Now, has he found the distance here? Yes, he has. And the angle. It's game on again. Leeds have their points. Leeds 6, St Helens 12.
Always going to be close, wasn't it, Dave? Call up the sides. Use the play the ball, that's fine. Diskin goes in, offloads. And because he breaks here, he drags the defence in a little bit. They've got to shuffle. And this is fantastic awareness. And the skill. He's onside there, that's definite. Stewart can't get it. That's the try. Yeah. If he'd have seen it from that angle...
That angle clears it up completely.
Yeah, that angle would have shown the offside, the onside rather, and then the grounding of the ball. So one angle of that would have been done.
Well, I have my doubts, but having seen that, I think that was a perfectly fair try. I'm sure one or two St Helens fans would beg to differ. Sinfield. Gleeson and Cunningham get in at the second attempt. Fleary. 20 minutes played. The clock's on fast motion at the moment. The game seems to have flown by.
It has, yes, and there's 2 minutes on the video there.
Here's Walker. He's looking for a 40-20 here. Long kick downfield. Ball scurries away. Wellens collects it safely. The Leeds chase is not lined up here. Vowles, though, does make the tackle. Top 3 tacklers in the game, all Leeds players, which tells you an awful lot about who's had the ball most. Stewart. Sculthorpe. Now Cunningham. Here's Shields. Offload and a little dangerous, but St Helens get away with it. Sculthorpe again. Yonkers steps inside and gets it back to Sculthorpe. Here's Gleeson now. They're sucking Leeds in the middle. Can they find the gaps? Gleeson will try and wriggle his way through, but Hay makes the tackle. 6th tackle coming up as well. Sculthorpe's crossfield kick once more. Vowles is underneath it. Oh, he's not got there. It might have been knocked back by Tommy Martin. Well, the referee says no, it was a Leeds hand, so it's another 6 tackles. St Helens have 6 from here. Forward pass, surely forward pass it was.
tried the impossible again, you know, early in the tackle count, squandered another opportunity.
It is St Helens' game, though, isn't it? They take their risks, they take their chances, and 90% of the time, they do come off.
They're a horrendous side to play against. You never know what's going to happen, where they're going to go. It is just a nightmare defending against them.
And it always has been, hasn't it? It's whoever the coach, whoever the personnel on the pitch, they always seem to play that way. As if when you walk through the front door at Knowsley Road, you've got written instructions. That's the way it's played in these parts.
And you had the overlap on there. I think that ball should have gone. Andy Hay, it was 2 men.
Adamson.
Been very impressed with Tim Yonkers in the second row. You know, he's come into this superstar side and he's fought his way through. He's got tremendous feet for a second row.
Sheridan took a touch of a St Helens player. Oh, and it's not trapped well. This should be Leeds' possession. Who's going to pick it up? Cornerwood's after it. Suddenly they're playing soccer. And in the end, it's Helens who will drop on it, but Leeds really should have had possession back there. They were going for glory. Albert.
Certainly got their confidence back, Leeds, haven't they?
That went forward. Well, the referee looks to his touch judge, who says no, it went backwards. Shields. Well met by Hay. Well, he didn't play the ball properly, and the reason being he wasn't allowed to play the ball properly. So there was a penalty, and someone's spoken out of turn as well. So the penalty is marched another 10 yards downfield, and Sculthorpe will march the rest. He's only got a couple to beat. Good tackle coming in from Calderwood again, but St Helens are here, 10 yards away. Wellens held up just short. Martin moves in at dummy half. Quick ball to Newell, and Albert's in. Anthony Stewart has gone over in the corner. Again, quick hands. Again, smart centre play, this time from Paul Newell. And Anthony Stewart, for the second time in a week, scores against Leeds.
It's the use of the short side once again. Here's the tap, and he runs at number 8, Fleary. He hasn't got the legs to go with him, and that's the initial break, which causes a lot of damage. Doesn't throw a silly pass. Waits his time, and this is from the play the ball. Look at the short house, great side. The miss past the joint. That is superb skills. To take and give a pass, basic skills, superb technique.
Ascendancy re-established. Who've played themselves into the team. I think Anthony Stewart fits that bill as well, doesn't he? He's a Wigan-born lad, signed for the Hindley Amateur Club, and he's now a first-team performer for St Helens. Here's Long, 2 out of 2 so far. Oh, and it's another terrific kick from the wrong side as well, from the left-footed kicker's point of view. But there were never any doubts in his mind that he was going to miss that.
The quality of the goal kicking is exceptionally high today. Ben Walker's kicking, Sean Long's kicking. But look at this attack, he attacks Fleary, number 8 there, he knows he's got the legs on him, doesn't panic, no support, takes the tackle. Calderwood tries to slow him down, but he's the winger who's been dragged in. He's got to get over there, He makes the tackle again, number 14, look at him, number 14. Should be on the wing, he's out of position, and they expose it.
Well, in the meantime, from the kickoff, Martin Gleeson has knocked on. He was suggesting to the referee that he chopped the ball with his chest, but the referee saying he used an arm, and so it'll be in a head and feet for Leeds here, and this is a real bonus because of, instead of having to soak up the pressure, Leeds now have the chance to apply a little more on the St Helens line.
Just news of Peter Shields, the St Helens second row. He's in the blood bin. He's got an injury to his face. He's dabbing it. And Barry Ward's on. He's a big impact player. Let's see what impact he can make.
We'll have some defending to do here at the moment. Adamson takes it to within 20 yards. Senior, oh, what's happened here? Oh, another handling mistake by Leeds. There have been so many mistakes in this game already, haven't there? But put that down to it being a semi-final with the stakes at their very highest.
Your fingers, Matt. Wait up, Tom. Get it in now. Stay, lads.
From the back of the scrum. Decent. Here's Barry Ward. Someone suggested a Barney Rubble lookalike. Barry Ward. Well, again, there was a flop on in the tackle, which again has given a penalty to St Helens, which well, it does get on in the end, but just for the second there, Mark Calderwood thought he was going to be able to keep it in, but instead, St Helens have the tap here. 30 yards again from that Leeds line. Here's Barry Ward. Cunningham. Joint. Cunningham again. Long. Little switch back again for Sculthorpe, who ran where he thought there might be a gap, but it closed quickly. Cunningham. Joint. They are that close again. Cunningham's quick flick. Sculthorpe took it, but he was taken the instant he did. This is the last tackle now. Cunningham's there, Long's there, little jab over the top. Oh, it's taken by over, and he sets it down as well. The square's in the air. The referee's asking the question again. This has to be a question of offside.
That's the only thing, and by his reaction, I don't think he is offside. There's the line. He's miles onside. He is about 3 yards onside. Explosive pace, easy try. Again, that is superb technique.
The referee went for the video referee because he couldn't believe how much time and space Darren Albert had there. There's the try confirmed, and St Helens are marching away with this at the moment.
They've got so much ability. They are so clinical today. You know, any chance they've had, they finish it. Watch this, last tackle, stroll in the park, lovely kick. They've been dragged in once again because they're short the numbers, and that is an easy finish. But the execution, very, very high.
It's a terrific strike rate from Sean Long. He hasn't always been kicking goals when he's been on the park, so to average over 3 a game is a very, very good return. And it just sneaks in. Oh no, it doesn't. Hits the post and sneaks out again. He's missed one.
I think it was the first mistake St Helens have done.
Is that from the commentator or the goal?
Look at this, you know, just they dragged in on the play of the ball. They've got numbers, you know, they'd overlap on the right-hand side, but they're just making the right decisions at the right times in the game.
22 points to 6, St Helens lead at this stage of a semi-final. You could have only dreamt of this situation. Attempted short kick-off again to try and catch St Helens cold, but it was caught by Sculthorpe. Barring the try they've scored, like Leeds have still not been inside the St Helens the final quarter, have they, with any real purposefulness so far?
It'd be interesting to see the possession count again.
Decent. Working this blind side, here's Albert, who's already on a hat-trick.
There's the possession, look at that, 14 minutes to 9 minutes. You just can't afford to get in.
And here they go again. Mueller down the left-hand side, and Stewart will finish from here. Oh my word! St Helens are running away with it now. Second try of the game for Anthony Stewart. St Helens are tearing them apart.
They are so clinical, aren't they? And very high quality. And they've done a lot more dancing than the Leeds cheerleaders. From the play the ball again, look. It's just skills, miss ball, miss pass. And it's the pace. Tony Carroll is caught ball watching. Newlove gets on the outside of him. He has been struggling with an ankle Achilles injury, Tony Carroll. And what happens, look. Bang. Ball goes outside, look. There he's caught outside and Calderwood's got to come in. When he comes in, turns his back. It's a good finish by Stewart.
It's almost as if Leeds are playing with a man short, isn't it? The width they're finding on the wings, St Helens. They say goal kicks in semi-finals are absolutely vital. Sean Long knows that this one carries a little less pressure than most.
Yeah, they're all important.
Well, again, it's put wide. And the ironic boos from the St Helens fans who want to see every opportunity taken at the moment.
They've got numbers in the line. Look, Keenan Cunningham, just doubt. Number 3's dragged in and Newlove gets on the outside of him. Calderwood's got to come in. Superbly timed pass. That's a good fair nice, just simple run in, but superb.
Barry Ward wrestling the ball forward again. Ian Millward can sit a little more comfortably at the moment, but 20 points the gap. 3 tries from Leeds and they'll be back in it. That sounds easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, they've got to keep the ball.
The possession stat we showed a short while ago, showing that St Helens have had nearly twice as much possession than Leeds. Not only is it helpful that they're up on the board, but it means that Leeds will tire the first, you would have thought, because they've had to do the most work in defence so far. It's Adamson. This is Danny Ward. 5 minutes of the first half remaining. At the very least, Leeds dare not concede again, but at the very best would need to score before the break, and the passing is poor. Cummins. Walker. And he's attempting the little kick through, but Wellens has it covered.
Yeah, the Leeds half backs have been very quiet, but that's because they haven't had any ball. That's the trouble.
And Leeds offside. They're being punished at every turn. That's a huge kick as well from Sculthorpe, which takes the attack to there.
This is vitally important they hold on here. You know, they've been penalised on the halfway, given field position away, and a superb kick to get them where they are again.
Yonkers is put down. Cunningham waits, shifts it right. Wellens spins away. Cunningham again. Here's Sculthorpe. Seeked out by Kevin Sinfield and put down. Cunningham. It's a difficult ball for Long, so he'll leave it for Tommy Martin. Joint. Long again. They are free to play as they love to play, St Helens now. Here's Gleeson. Steps and tries to take on Senior on the inside, but he and Sinfield complete the tackle. Long. Ward. Good reverse pass from a prop forward, my word. Wellens. Wasn't stopped the first time and almost got through at the second attempt as well.
A short on the... We've got numbers on the left-hand side, Saints.
6 tackle. Here's Long, drop kick. Oh, my word. But he's put it wide.
point at least.
That's a bad miss, and he knows it. Look at the reaction. That should have been a point. Look, a bit rushed, maybe a bit too flat, but got the kick in and just pulled it wide. Bad miss by Sean Long.
Reminiscent of Andy Gregory's drop goal against Bradford in that semi-final all those years ago when Wigan won 71 points to 10.
As if he needed it 1 point.
Yeah, that 1 point made the difference that day, didn't it? Here's Carroll. Walker. Sean did well to deal with a difficult ball. Sinfield.
The Saints defence have really marshalled the Leeds strike plays well. Adamson's been quiet, the half-backs have been quiet, and so has Senior.
I don't think Leeds have made a break so far, have they? They really have been hushed up down the middle. Walker. Tester here for Stewart. And he's taken it well, but then he's dropped it. Now, who's the quickest to recover? Calderwood is, and he steps inside. Oh, and he gets it away as well. Carroll was there in support. Held up. They need a quick play the ball here. 6 more tackles, but they need it quickly. Carroll out to Walker.
All offside.
Walker's bringing it wide. Senior now steps back again. St Helens quick to recover. St Helens pushed out of play. What a terrific tackle from Darren Albert that was. He scored twice, Albert, and now he's saved a try.
I think they were all offside there, weren't they?
Have a little look, please.
Oh, he's netless.
Well, I can't understand why they need the video referee here, but
He was like Superman going to the flag then. He's never going to get down. It's good play by Senior, good centre play. He's got a lot to do here, St Helens. Hell of a lot. Hits the flag easy. It's never a try. But I felt that, you know, they were offside. They never got back from that Calderwood break. Why he wants to look at this again is beyond me. The flag is smashed before he's anywhere near the try line.
well, I think the touch judge has put 1 or 2 doubts in the mind of Russell Smith. So we might as well get a definitive version. This will be no try. But it'll be a tap on the 20.
Yeah, but I think, you know, they were definitely offside from the last play of the ball. No real advantage.
And if they'd scored that, that could have really lifted Leeds. And they should have scored from that position, shouldn't they? Because St Helens were at 6s and 7s.
That's what I'm saying, but they all, you know, came back and stayed in an offside position. And it should have been a penalty for Leeds.
There's Joyce.
And insult to injury now if they score in the last couple of seconds.
Skillful.
Wait while he plays it.
This is Long. Sort of dabbled over, really. No real meaning to that kick. Tony Carroll.
Leeds look shell-shocked and disorganised at the moment.
Sinfield. Oh, it's a chance here. Well, eventually it's picked up by St Helens, and it was a St Helens hand that touched it last before St Helens, so it's another 6 tackles here. Won't matter. That is it. And what a half from St Helens' point of view. 4 tries scored by their wingers. They really have bossed it down the middle and shown the flair up wide as well.
It's been a very, very clinical first half performance by St Helens. Great finishing, total control. I think Sculthorpe and Cunningham have been really unstoppable, and it just shows, you know, why they're rated the best side possibly in Britain, if not the world at the moment, because, you know, they've got so many strike players and they've just finished everything off in the first half. A lot of work for police to do.
Well, Damien Johnson is down on the sidelines.
Down here I've got Dave Lyon from the St Helens coaching staff. Dave, looking at the scoreboard, I'm tempted to say it's all over, but you wouldn't go along with that.
No, far from it. You know, Leeds are a quality side. I think you've got to put a lot of emphasis on the performance we've had in the first half. We've performed very well, we've defended very well, but Leeds are very capable of coming back into this game.
What has been the difference between the 2 sides so far, do you feel?
I think we've had a very good completion rate, we've put a lot of pressure on Leeds' line, and we've come up with a lot of quality scores.
More of the same second half, you'll be saying at half-time?
Oh, without a question of a doubt.
Thanks, Dave.